Hello and welcome to the 2024 Austrian Disc Golf Championships.
My name is Leon Sonnleitner. I am joined here by reigning Austrian champion Florian Lingenhill.
So you can see the layout right here, and this is the front nine of the first round. The opening stretch is pretty open, as you can see, and we're joined with
first on the card, Stanislav Amann, one-time Austrian champion and one of the best players in Austria.
Pretty backhand dominant.
Yes, so, sponsored by Discmania.
Our Austrian crusher, Laurens Schauerhofer, one of the furthest throwers in the country. You'll see him crush a few really big bombs today.
Next up, local hero Florian Lingenhill, sponsored by MVP Discs and reigning Austrian champion. Let's see him crush here in his home area, sort of his home area.
Yeah, and last but not least, my co-commentator Leon Sonnleitner doing a little peekaboo action. So we practically got the two biggest throwers in Austria on the card, Laurens and Leon. Gonna be interesting. Hole 1, one of the furthest holes in the course, 226 meter par 4. First shot should be a big hyzer to the end of the soccer field, and then a mini flex backhand for most people over this FPO green beforehand, and then finishing towards the basket on the last island. The slope on the left doesn't seem like much, but it's pretty dangerous if you hit it right.
Tea time, 11:30, die vierte Card. Als erster, sponsored by Discmania, die übrigens auch dieses tolle Event sponsert.
Jakob Ettlinger, a top 5 player in Austria, sadly injured, but he's doing a great job introducing the players on hole 1. Thanks to him for the effort behind the scenes, even though he can't play. Must be frustrating for him.
We got Stani here throwing an S-line PD, if I'm correct. Just gonna try to get it out to the right, trust the disc to fade back. And yeah, that's gonna be in a pretty decent spot. Could be a little bit more left, but that's gonna work just fine.
Yeah, the net on the right really forces you to throw a steeper end hyzer if you're further to the right on your first shot. Laurens getting ready below the umbrella. Pretty rainy conditions today. Gonna be tough to navigate this very interesting terrain, rocky terrain.
Laurens giving it a little bit more height, fighting back a little bit more to the left, and that's going to be pretty much exactly what you want.
He has such effortless distance.
Sponsored by MVP und Mitglied bei der Scheinbeginn, Florian Lingenhill!
So talk me through your shot selection here. What are you throwing?
I'm throwing a photon, cosmic neutron photon. Those are a bit more stable than the usual ones. And well, just trying to push a hyzer out there pretty flat. It will flip up a bit and finish right at the corner. And I think that worked out pretty well. Had a short warm-up before the round because of some troubles getting to the course, but nothing wrong with that.
Pretty much ideal spot, just like Laurens.
There you are.
There I am.
How about you?
Getting some jumps in.
I heard you are trying to play it a bit shorter.
Yeah, my goal is to stay short of that fence so I can go spike hyzer on the second. I'm throwing an adder here, which is just super stable, as you can see. Just got it early and didn't really yeah, just throw nothing was good about that shot, just absolutely terrible. No reason to go OB here.
Any adaptations for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely change to the same shot you guys are throwing. Go big hyzer. So, yeah, I have about 145 meters still left onto this island green. I'm going Ballista Pro here, just trying to throw a big hyzer.
This looked so good out of your hand. I thought it would swing back easily, but never made it back. Because you're just throwing too far, too much power, man.
Yeah, I didn't think I could go far with that angle, but I think the headwind kind of made it flip up, and OB again, not the best start.
Okay, so here you can see the net coming into play. Stani has to go with a steeper Anheuser angle, and in the rain, probably slipped a bit out of his hand and just doesn't make it back in bounds. So he'll have to take it from the FPO green.
And here you have you two guys, Lawrence and Flo, both in absolutely perfect spots. Lawrence going FX2, just a nice gentle hyzer. And yeah.
We didn't see that it was that parked, but just starting off right, so perfect. Two picture perfect shots. I played this one a bit too conservative, hung it out a bit too wide, just outside the circle, mid-circle 2.
Yeah, and since I threw that big hyzer, I just never crossed that second island, so I'm actually throwing my 5th shot already from about 90 meters away, going with my Justice, hoping I can finally throw a good shot here. Trying to spike it in. Yeah, I'm gonna pretty short putt.
Yeah, trying to retrieve Stani's disc. I jumped over the fence while he set up for his approach. Left a bit of meat on the bone, but yeah, Stani's a good putter. Probably one of the most solid C1 putters in Austria, so let's see if he can make that to save the bogey. And I have no clue what I thought here. I made 3 putts before the round because I had no time. And I thought it was a good idea to go for the basket from mid C2. It was so stupid. And now I'm looking at the circle's edge putt. Stani, on the other hand, just as I predicted. Solid, dead center.
We got Flo putting for his par now.
Yeah, holy shit.
Not the best start to the round, but we have some time. This is me putting for double bogey. I'm not gonna lie, I really want to make this because starting with the triple would suck so bad, but luckily I connect. Still a super terrible start, nothing good about that. You connect for bogey, and we will have Lawrence already gaining on the entire card, so pretty good start for him.
So hole 2, 103 meters, pretty far downhill, and the preferred line for many players is a hyzer, just matching the hillside, but the drop-off on the left of the side of the basket can get you, so you might be the edge of circle 2 even if you don't hit it right. I'm going side-on though, so I'm challenging the guardian tree on the left.
Lawrence throwing a mutant here, swinging it really well, keeping it pretty low, and that's going to be another pretty easy putt to set him up for a perfect start.
Stani also going with the backhand, but with faster disc, and he just hung it out a bit wide, a bit too much power on it, and he's going long of the pin. Let's see if he can sneak it underneath the branches.
We got Flo here opting for the sidearm, which can work, but it does bring that left Guardian tree into play pretty early. The advantage though is that you fade into the hillside, so a little bit less potential to go really far away.
Yeah, it's a safe play on mid c2. And yeah, that's the problem with the backhand. If you just commit or even throw it a bit too hard, you'll find yourself down the hillside. But yeah, that was probably a slip out of the hand.
I don't know what happened there, just really bad shot. And I actually have a super tough shot here, because I had to really work my way around that tree. So I was actually super happy with that shot.
Me going with my glitch. Still under committing on the putts.
Stani here from C2. Kind of has to go through the branches here.
Oh.
Chest high.
This is longer than it looks, like 6-7 meters. And luckily I make this one, so that's a bit of a confidence boost to make one good putt.
I have like 5 meters here for my par. Yeah, not my best start ever, I have to admit.
I saw you going to that Anheuser putt for short distances, very straight, pretty fast as well. So what made you do that?
I have been putting so bad all year, basically all of last year. So I just said, after last week in Copenhagen, or 2 weeks ago in Copenhagen, I just changed everything, kind of get a mental break.
Okay. Sometimes that really does turn it around. Hole 3 is a very far par 3, and most of the field said it's too hard, but I designed it for the players who fight for the title, so I hope someone will get the birdie this weekend. It's definitely doable, since it's a bit downhill. You really got to work a big flex shot through this initial gap and have it fade back to the back of the hillside you see up there. And, well, Lawrence overturning it. Yeah, and the branches probably turned it over even a bit more, so he'll have a longer approach into the screen.
Stani going with his PD again, and similar mistake to Lawrence. There's really no need to push this tree on the right at all.
But still decent drive, and he can't reach the hole anyway, so he'll be fine with that position, I guess. I overturned it as well. Pretty bad shot, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm going fairway driver here, just trying to go really straight at it. But yeah, just terrible grip lock.
Yeah, those rainy conditions can be really tough. For most players, the disc will slip out of the hand, but you just had too much grip on that throw, right?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of times pretty hard when you feel like the disc is slipping and then you just grip it super hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna have a super long par putt that's really stupid to go for, so I'm just settling for my bogey at this point.
And oh, Lawrence leaves it really short. Unusual. Me going with an Eagle Envy, Eagle Team Series Envy, and I'm right behind the basket. Slid down the hill a bit, so circle's edge, maybe a bit inside.
Stani just going straight at it with the putter, using the hill to kind of get rid of any distance control that you need to have. Pretty smart, and I'm just laying it up.
Yeah.
No interest in taking more than a bogey with my bad start already.
It really is a tweener hole for most people. For us it might not be, but still, it's one of the bogeys you might take a bit more easily than in some other holes. Still stinks though.
Here you can clearly see the pretty tricky basket position. Basically a death putt no matter where you are. So we're gonna have Stani take the only par, and all of us are gonna have to settle for the bogey, which is just really unnecessary.
Unacceptable, really. The feature cut shouldn't perform like that. And for those who didn't know, we are the last 4 Austrian champions. Or even the last 5 if you count Robin Binder, who is watching the card. Yeah. So me last year, then Leon before 2022,
Yes.
Stani in 2021, Lawrence in 2020 and 2019, so repeated, and Robin, who is watching the card, 2018, so we got a stacked card here, and well, we should do better on the hole, definitely. Here you have a really high flex shot line on hole 4, and it's so uphill that it plays definitely over 100 meters. You gotta get a good pump up there. And Stani isn't going with a flex line or just with a tiny one. Surprised us all. Very straight at it, just tiny turn, tiny fade, and parks it. Very gutsy play, but well executed.
Lawrence also opting for a pretty straight play. I was pretty surprised that both of these guys went so directly at it, because it kind of closes the gap a little bit, but they both made it work pretty well.
Yeah, and they kind of influenced me, and I took the right disc for the same shot, but then I threw my usual flex shot. So, yeah, stupid mistake on my part.
I'm going very overstable mid-range here, it's a justice. I was super happy with this shot. Just one last branch to miss, and now I have probably about 12 meters uphill left.
This higher stall line, I didn't really consider, but it made sense to helicopter down to the basket, like you planned to.
Yeah, Lawrence, really far putt here, definitely not a must make. I'm also still in C2 here, just trying to give it a light run, because after the basket there's actually a lot of stuff that you really want to avoid. Because if you go 4 or 5 meters long here, you might not even have a putt. So you really want to keep it short, in my opinion.
I was so surprised to even hit the band from there. I was outside the circle with a tiny window. Yeah. Everyone tapping in. Stani picking up the only birdie. So picking up strokes in the last 2 holes. Yeah. And then me nestling into the branches. Yep. No harm, no fall for all of us. Decent bits. And here, hole 5. This hole is just by the layout, if I can praise myself, pretty good. We had to deal with some last minute changes. The tall grass we couldn't cut, so you'll have a standstill on your second probably. You have a big field to land in on your first shot from the stone circle. Then OB on the right by those wooden posts, and OB in the chicken farm. Then Island Green just before the fence. The path around it is OB, and now you can see the orange flags that mark it on the right and left side as well. Yeah, so you really got to decide if you want to go for the green on the second, especially with bad or even without a run-up.
Stani sticking with his PD, throws it pretty far out to the right, but trusting the disc to come back. And he's gonna have probably around 110 meters left into the green, I guess.
A big shout out to the spotters down there. They were there all day in the rain, just seeing to the discs not getting lost in this tall grass, making the best out of the conditions we play. Yeah.
Lawrence just going big hyzer, kind of exactly what you want to do. Great shot there.
Yeah, easy distance at that. Like I'm going full hyzer flip, huge distance shot, and I barely make it past his disc. So that really shows how far he can throw. And then you as well, also going for the hyzer line, right?
Yeah, I'm throwing a pretty stable enforcer. Not really too concerned with the distance. I'm just really trying to hit this field, trying to follow Lawrence's line.
Yeah.
And yeah, we basically land a meter next to each other, so.
Yeah, consistent power hyzer. Really nice. Good job.
Thank you. Stani has a very far shot into the green. And he actually decides to just lay it up into that first landing zone. Probably a pretty smart decision, because that run-up can really mess with your accuracy. So that's why we see Laurens going for the standstill here. It's about 90 meters left from where we are, and he goes fairway driver, leaking it a little bit left, but on the island, and setting himself up with a great birdie putt. And I'm just trying to follow him again. I'm going mid-range, just a standstill. And I'm going a little bit more of a hyzer line here, trying to swing it in. And yeah, that's going to be
perfect.
Finally a good shot.
Laurens being a bit goofy there. I'm going tempo here, and I should maybe have clubbed up to a faster disc and thrown it without a run-up, because I pulled it a bit right. As you said, the run-up can really mess with your accuracy. So I have about 8 to 9 meters left. Let's see if I can finally commit.
There we go. Second birdie on the card.
Yeah, I was really glad to finally pull through and make a good putt, Sandra.
We got Laurens also putting for birdie. He gets it in. And fun fact, on that day there were exactly 3 birdies on that hole, and all 3 of them were from this card. So yeah, pretty good group effort here.
Yeah.
Taking one back from Stani as well.
I guess we made up for hole 3.
Von der Spitzenkonkurrenz bis zu den neuen Spielern. Von der Unterstützung von Frauen bis zur Finanzierung neuer Kurse. PDGA Europe ist viel mehr als nur ein Wettbewerb. Besuchen Sie pdga.com/join und fördern Sie den Sport.
Hole 6, very straightforward hole, you could say. You want to throw a slower disc. Most people will throw something from a putter to a fairway driver at max. At the end, the disc should fade just a tiny bit, but the fence you just saw makes people throw a bit higher than they might want to, and the big gap is at the bottom, so you might want to come in where the drone just flew, and most people will hit it a bit higher and catch some branches. So gotta get it low over the fence and push into the gap.
Laurens is sticking with his fairway driver, the FX2, and he told me he just has better grip with the fairway drivers in these conditions, so makes sense. He got it just a bit early, probably has like 35 meters left. Yeah, not a great shot, but nothing to be ashamed of. It's gonna be an easy par.
I'm going with an Eclipse reactor here, and just the shot shape I was looking for, catching a few branches at the end, but that's 6 or 7 meters away, makeable putt coming up.
Great shot right there. I actually changed my game plan from putter to mid-range here because of the bad conditions, and I just grip locked it a little bit. Also gonna be in a decent spot just behind Laurens. And Stani, I think this is an FD3 here, so pretty stable fairway driver. Also grip locked it just a little bit, and he will also have to settle for the par.
Okay, you going with a slow flex line, probably a putter?
Yeah, I'm just going understable putter, and there's this hillside on the right, so I'm really just trying to hit the hillside with some angle, because then the disc should roll down. Luckily, exactly that happened.
You can really give it a good run here. Really a breather between some difficult holes. You can just pump it into the gap and then give it a run even if you're on close. Okay, Stani. Another good run. He really made progress in that regard this year. So many good long bits.
Flo putting for the only birdie on the group, and he connects. So that's going to be back-to-back birdies. Finally getting the round going. Stani cleans up his par. I clean up my par and Lawrence is also gonna just tap it in. Not the easiest hole, but definitely one that you can get.
Some of those shorter holes, for most people in the field, are the only birdie chances. So after playing those long holes and then coming to a hole like this, you might really want to pick it up. But for us, it's just another chat. Okay, so 141 meters, also pretty far uphill. You want to get a side-on flex around this first gap, and then you have a hyzer into the landing zone up here. You can get a circus edge putt if you throw that well. But if you really want to access the green, you have to throw an even steeper side-on flex with an overstable disc to get in there. Yeah. Okay. This first tree on the left is really a guardian tree for the first shot. You gotta get around that. And
Lawrence opting for a pretty straight power shot, and he hit the gap perfectly, just threw it a bit too hard. I'm going crazy stable disc here.
And you can see both of them throwing perfect shots, or almost perfect shots. They really challenged that tree. That's the usual backhand layup to the corner. That's okay, you can still get the birdie, but it's gonna be a bit tougher than with the side-on that can get around the corner. And my shot was apparently that bad that they didn't even show it. It hit this guardian tree that I spoke about and kicked to the right. I'm just scrambling to get the bogey. Here I get aggressive and think that I can maybe get a par if I execute this. I got out of the really tight gap, but hit some branches further up. So this is my fourth. Trying to get up and down for bogey.
We got Stani here in a really nice spot. He's basically just trying to give himself some sort of putt. Hits the last branch on the left side. That's gonna be a tough one. I'm also scrambling like really badly here. Have to hit this super tight line and just grip lock it once again.
But you got through further than expected, so you
yeah, I got through pretty well. Lawrence here just laying it up back into the gap because there's really nothing you can do when you're in there. So he's just gonna give himself decently simple approach for his par.
So, that's a pyro, just trying to get around the corner up there for my bogey. Oh.
Cut the corner a little bit, but got through, and you have like 4 meters left.
Got through, surprisingly. The Tyrolean woods are pretty thick with all the needle trees, so got lucky there a bit.
Stani playing it perfect, nice and outside. And he's gonna have a tap in for his par. And I have a super weird kind of full power jump putt here. But I also made it work a little bit, so gonna have a very makeable par putt as well. Here's Lawrence for his par save. Leaves it a little bit short.
We had a little gap, but no problem. Was pumped to at least save the bogey from that first position. Sometimes you just gotta take your medicine and get out of there.
We have 2 pars and 2 bogeys. Yeah, that hole is super tough to birdie, in my opinion. So par is a pretty decent score right there.
Hole 8 is one of my favorite holes in the course. To the left you can see the straight line. We fly the hyzer line right now. And the basket got pushed down 5 meters to the bottom of the hill because of the rainy conditions, that no one injures themselves while going up there. And the HISO line is now better, but still the straight line is probably the line you will park the basket most consistently with. And yeah, even though Leon shanks this one, the HISO line is still the more consistent play to just get down there and give yourself a look.
Stani opting for the straight gap actually, so he's gonna try to go through this left side here.
Turns it over a bit too much, but yeah.
He's
still
gonna have a look.
Just pushing it too straight. Hit the tree on the right side of the gap.
Holland's throwing a putter here, and that's kind of exactly the line you want.
Yeah, this Eclipse Envy, and it makes it through the Guardian trees as well. Yeah, he likes to throw that disc a lot. A more stable Envy. Just perfect for this shot shape.
You get down there for a par look. I'm also scrambling from similar territory. I have this little backhand Annie.
And you almost made it. That was a sick run. We were all staring at you after this one.
Yeah, I got lucky to hit the tree back there. Otherwise that could have skipped way behind the basket off of the band. We got Stani here putting for his birdie. Great putt, through some stuff. That's a really good birdie to get.
That was a statement putt, really. Let's see if he can bounce back from the last miss. Nice, very committed. Good to see that. He has had some putting struggles over the last few years, and this one looked really good. I hope he can continue to putt like that for the rest of the round. Ooh, and I was even a bit overcommitted. Glad that one went in. Yeah. So, pretty good scores on the whole, really. And us two being able to save the par. Not bad. This one is not a side-on flex. Most people try to go for one, but the tree on the right side of the tee really messes with you on that one. I think the perfect line would be a bit more understable driver that just flips over a bit and fades back to the right at the end. The basket is tucked way to the right, but you can get lucky to a straighter gap as well. That's what Stani is trying to do, not willing to throw a side-on that far.
Yeah, he's going FD here. Throws it about as good as you can throw that backhand, but it just closes the gap so much.
Yeah, this is a side-on hole. You can't, I don't think you can really birdie without a side-on here. And Lawrence looked perfect. Hit one of the last few trees, but that's a look. Good effort.
Yeah, I'm just trying to follow Lawrence's line once again. But once again, I just grip block it really badly, and I'm gonna be in an absolutely terrible spot.
I'm trying to go with the turnover line, but also the tree on the right side of the tee messing with me a bit.
I'm just trying to make something work here. Pretty disappointed at that point. Really haven't had a single, or not too many shots that I was really happy with. And
yeah, just trying to get up and down for bogey now. That's tough. You're pretty far away as well, at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, I'm just trying to hit this gap.
And that was just insane. We couldn't believe it. And Tom also was freaking out, the camera guy, Tom Bent. He had it perfectly in frame. He was so happy that he captured that one so well.
Yeah, that was a really good one to get. I'm at this point just hoping that something like this happens so I can kind of turn my round the other way, and obviously super happy to save my par after that absolutely terrible tee shot.
Stani just laying up. Oh, I couldn't get through from my difficult position after the first shot, so trying to give it a run with my glitch. And decent bit, though 7 meters away, obstructed now. Undercommitted again. Ridiculous way to play a par here.
Yeah, after my tee shot I was sure I was taking bogey at best, so definitely surprised me quite a bit.
Okay.
You have a pretty tricky par putt here, but you make it work.
No, not even par, it was for
bogey, I'm sorry.
But I was happy nonetheless, because that was a difficult scramble to even get here.
Lowlands cleans up his par after being the only one who had a real look at the birdie. So that was already the front nine of the first round. Lowlands and Stani got off to a pretty good start, under par. It's definitely a pretty good score for the front nine here. And you and me are off to a pretty terrible start. We definitely have to make up some strokes on the back nine, which you should definitely watch. And yeah, see you there.
See you.